Share news of local concert events that you may be interested in attending, background information about some of the greatest musical compositions ever written. Tune in weekdays 9 to 10 a.m. and Wednesday from 9 to 10:30.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, here to meet your urgent and emergent medical needs, whether they are COVID-19 related or not. Medical emergencies happen when you least expect them. Whether it's a stroke, heart attack, illness, or injury, San Juan Regional Medical Center's caregivers are here to provide care to you and your loved ones. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Ten minutes past 8 o'clock. It is Thursday morning, May 28th. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Nicklin. Thank you for joining me this morning on KSJE, 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County, 103.3 FM over the air in Durango, Colorado, and of course streaming everywhere from our website at ksje.com. Good morning also to our viewers. This is a visual radio program, so we're glad you have joined us by watching us on the KSJE YouTube channel or Facebook page. Welcome aboard, everyone. Coming up this morning, we are talking local nutrition and farmers market with my guests from the San Juan County Partnership and the New Mexico Cooperative Extension Service. Stay tuned for that conversation beginning in the next few moments right here on KSJE. Then, of course, at 9 a.m., it's our local information program about the coronavirus here in our area, COVID-19. Megan Cullip will be joining me as our co-host, and we'll be talking again with two doctors from San Juan Regional Medical Center. We'll get the latest update from them. Also on the program today, some guests from Presbyterian Medical Services about the work that they are doing with COVID-positive patients in our community. So we hope you'll stay tuned for that. 9 a.m. streaming on YouTube and Facebook, rebroadcast at 5:06 p.m. on KSJE Radio and on our website. So we hope you'll join us for that coming up this morning. On the radio side of things at 9:06 a.m. today, Mick Hess and Roving with the Arts. It's our weekday classical music program, and today Mick is playing some great classics from Debussy, Claude Debussy, today on Roving with the Arts at 9:06 on KSJE this morning. Don't forget, of course, in addition to Facebook and YouTube, we invite you to connect with us on Twitter and on Instagram as well. Weather forecast, a hot day today, mostly sunny skies, 89 for a high in Farmington, 61 overnight, then maybe a monsoon moisture pattern setting up for the next week or so. As a matter of fact, take a look. Scattered showers possible every afternoon, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, on into next week, with highs each day near 90 and overnight lows right around 60 degrees. And of course, we always tell you that visual radio can take you places. It's going to take you just outside our studios here at San Juan College this morning. There is some COVID-19 testing happening here at San Juan College. It is a first-come, first-served situation, and that's the line of cars that are waiting to get around to the other side of the campus where the tests are being conducted in front of the Henderson Fine Arts Center here on the San Juan College campus. But that is the view just a few moments ago here at the campus of San Juan College. The Department of Health is here doing some COVID-19 testing for area residents. Well, let me turn to my guests who are with me this morning through the miracle of Zoom. And joining us again from the San Juan County Partnership, Patience Williams is here. Good morning. Thank you for joining me.
Good morning, Scott.
Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And also joining us this morning is Bonnie Hopkins from the New Mexico Cooperative Extension Service. And Bonnie, good morning to you.
Good morning, Scott. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being with us as well. It's great to see both of you on the program today. And so we're talking, as I mentioned, about nutrition. But Bonnie Hopkins, before we get to that topic, I've got to ask you, what is the deal with all the moths this year? Good grief.
I knew you were going to ask this, Scott. Yeah, it's Miller moth season, and believe it or not, this happens almost every year. We see more moths when we have a wet season the previous year, so we had an abundance of moisture last year, which means more vegetative growth, which is always going to mean more insects. So we are seeing a big influx of Miller moths this year. They're flying through the state. They're almost gone, so I say just hold out for another couple of weeks. People always call and ask for things like chemical treatments. They really don't work because they're just going to leave by the time any chemical would work anyway. So we don't typically recommend any chemical treatment for Miller moths. It is something that's just part of being a New Mexican. You kind of just have to wait it out, keep your lights off, keep your doors closed. And if you can find the grubs that they lay, they do lay eggs in the soil. It's not the same. I've had some calls about them being the grubs that destroy your lawn, and those are not the same type of moths. Those are a little bit different. So just be patient, keep your lights off, keep your doors closed.
Okay, good advice. And again, they are, the only good thing about them is that they're only here for a short period of time. And so that's the only thing I can say about them.
Yeah, they'll leave about the time squash bugs come in. So
great. Thanks for that.
We really kind of trade one pest for another. So
we
will start seeing squash bugs in the middle of June. And so that's something for us to look forward to. I try to remind myself, it could be worse. It could be Florida. We could be swatting bugs away, which is very, very rare. And I've yet to see mosquitoes this year.
True.
So that is another plus. So always looking on the bright side when it comes to Miller moths, and they can't hurt you.
I like that, Bonnie, and I like that attitude too. The bright side is a good thing to look at. In Florida, their bugs are 5 times the size of any bugs we would have here anyway. So I completely understand what you're saying.
Exactly. There's no bugs compared to Florida.
No, very true. But anyway, let's focus on what we're here to talk about, which is nutrition. And so that is why Patience Williams is here as well. And I know a lot of folks, Patience Williams, are excited about the growing season in this weird year, and hopefully there is a sign of normalcy, and that would be the farmers market, right? You are planning to have the farmers market as you have had in summers past, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes, farmers markets have been deemed essential by the governor, and that did happen right away. We have an incredible team in Santa Fe at the New Mexico Farmers Marketing Association that worked so hard to make sure that markets were on the essential list. So across the state, we have markets opening. The Farmington Growers Market will start its season on June 13th, and will run through October on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. to noon at the Farmington Museum. And we'll start our Tuesday markets in July on July 7th from 4 to 6 p.m. again at the Farmington Museum. And July and August are when the rest of the markets across the county will also start. Aztec starts that same week, I think July 8th. Kirtland will also start around that time. And then I think Bloomfield and Shiprock are going to start a little bit later, kind of towards August.
Okay.
So we've got lots of markets popping up. We've got a great coordination effort between all of the markets that's happening this year so that all of the vendors are trained and everyone knows what's going on, and we can support them even more than we've been able to in the past. In order for the markets to be considered essential, they do have to follow some pretty strict guidelines set forth by the Department of Health and the New Mexico Environment Department. So they worked hard to put together that list. We will have all of the booths spaced out 6 feet apart, social distancing across the market. It even said, this is in writing, I'm not making this up, no hugs.
Okay.
No hugs at the market.
All right.
They knew it. They knew us.
I guess people. They did. They met you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of you.
So they put it in writing. I think it's like number 16, no hugs.
Okay.
Bonnie Patience, no hugs.
Right.
Yeah, I think the worst was, there's just something about being at the market. This is one of my favorite stories. I saw Rob Mays at the market, and I instantly gave him a hug, and then I was like, what did I just do?
that can happen.
The city manager? That's so hilarious, but he was all for it, and he loves shopping at the market, so it worked out perfectly. But Rob, no hugs this year.
No hugs.
Can't do it.
You're on notice.
Don't be offended.
City manager Mays. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, so no hugs, no handshakes.
Sure.
No eating or sampling. So unfortunately, patients and some incredible local chefs were all geared up to do cooking demonstrations and sampling at the market. We're hoping that changes, but when we're getting off the ground, no eating within the market, no sampling. Even that's got to change by green chili season, but
right.
We're not sure right now.
Okay.
Only food products are allowed to be sold at the market, so unfortunately we won't be able to have any of our art or craft vendors initially when we start the market. The vendors will all have gloves and masks on. We'll have hand washing stations spaced throughout the market, and the vendors will have them as well. One of the biggest changes for customers, and this is going to be hard for both sides, there is no touching of the products. So the vendors will have to have all of the products behind them, and then you as a customer can tell them what you would like. And they have to bag it for you, and then you can give it to them.
Okay.
And so that's going to be a big change, because usually people are able to kind of get a little bit closer to the produce, kind of touch them, but we're not going to be able to do that this season. Another big change is that we're going to try to really limit cash as much as possible. Almost none of the vendors take credit or debit cards, and so that's going to be a big challenge. So we do ask people to bring maybe not exact cash, but maybe small amounts of change, so that you're not having to have a huge amount of money contact with the vendors. Remember that you can buy debit tokens at the information booth if you would like to use your card and have that kind of cashless contact, or maybe cashless, minimize cash. So we can swipe your credit or debit card along with your EBT card at the information booth and give you tokens. Those tokens can be used just like cash if they are debit or credit at any of the markets or at any of the booths that accept them. And then you can get your EBT card swiped, and remember we do the Double Up Food Bucks program there, so if you are an EBT or a SNAP participant, you can swipe your card, say, for $10, and we'll actually give you $20 to shop at the market, which is incredible because you cannot double your SNAP dollars anywhere else, not at any grocery store, only at the farmers market, and so that's incredible. And then we'll also wait for the New Mexico Department of Health Farmers Market Nutrition Program. That usually starts around the 1st of July. And those are the checks for moms that participate in the WIC program and also low-income seniors. So we will be looking for those to happen, but the biggest things for customers to remember is obviously social distance, wear a mask if it's possible for you as well, no eating inside the market, hugs, and then just be patient and understanding. I mean, this is going to be a big learning curve for all of us. We are building an army of volunteers. So if you are interested in helping volunteer at the market, we will have to limit the number of customers that are inside the market. So we will have some pretty clear entrances and exits. You won't just be able to enter the market from any place. And so do be on the lookout for those. And if you're willing to volunteer, you can shoot me an email or a message on either the San Juan County Extension Facebook page or the Farmington Growers Market Facebook page. Probably like 10 other Facebook pages, but those two would probably be the top two.
Right. Okay.
You can just shoot me an email at bhopkins@nmsu.edu.
Okay.
And we can get you signed up to be a volunteer, and you can help us kind of direct traffic and help us be as flexible as possible. There are incredible markets that are setting great examples across the country, and so we've been in conversations with a lot of them about things like curbside pickup and pre-orders. Right now, we're just going to start the market as normal as possible with the social distancing and the PPE requirements and the packaging requirements in place. And then we're going to adapt to the growing season. It's exciting because we've been working with the San Juan College Food Hub project, and they have a delivery van that is getting refrigeration put in it right now. And then we also have the Mobile Harvest Mobile Farmers Market unit that we're hoping to take out across the community this season. And
Great.
so that's very exciting. So we're looking at ways to be very, very flexible, very adaptable, serve those vulnerable populations as best as we can. So if you do have any great ideas on how we could do that, you can definitely let us know. But we're looking at some things like maybe curbside pickup, maybe a pre-ordering service through the Food Hub where people could pick up a mixed box of produce later in the season. So we're looking at all of the angles, all of the possibilities, and trying to just embrace the fact that we have no idea what the next few weeks are going to look like. And so we're just going to be as flexible as possible. If you are not signed up to receive the vendor newsletter or the customer newsletter, you can do that on the Farmington Growers Market website, farmingtongrowersmarket.com, or on the Facebook page, and we will send out all of these guidelines and any changes to that newsletter. So I definitely recommend having you go over there and do that.
Great. Very good. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff that's going on, and I think a lot of folks are excited to know that the growers market is going to happen, that it's essential, and that you are making whatever necessary changes that you all need to make to do it safely. And the folks, I think, can feel pretty confident when they come that they're going to be able to do it safely and get this great nutritious food. Patience Williams, let me turn to you a little bit about your work with all this. And of course, the partnership, the San Juan County Partnership, is so involved with nutrition and working on getting this food and this information out to the community. And talk to me a little bit about that this morning.
Well, what we're doing right now, the partnership, we are absolutely involved in the community, and we've been working hard to get resources out to people and to kind of collect resources for going out to the correct entities there. Right now, the Healthy Kids part of it, we are working on printing about 4,000 printouts right now. It's going to keep me busy for a bit, to hand out with the summer nutrition program for a kid-friendly, family-friendly, community-friendly, the 5210 challenge, which is a 21-day challenge that encourages students and families to make healthier choices. The 5 is to get your 5 fruits and vegetables a day, 5 servings. 2 is to cut your screen time to 2 hours. And I know I've tried to do this challenge before, and that is where I failed. And I know that a lot of adults and kids alike, cutting your screen time to 2 hours is a bit much. The 1 is for 1 hour of physical activity. And right now, I know a lot of people are out and about. We drive up the road. We live out in the middle of nowhere. We drive up the road and we see people out on bikes and walking, and cars parked where there's some Indian ruins, and hiking. And so it's so encouraging right now that in the middle of this pandemic, we have seen families reconnecting and people getting outside and getting that physical activity and not necessarily being inside in front of the TV the whole time.
Right.
So it's amazing.
It is. And the other thing, too, is, of course, we have a lot of these great places to go and explore just literally in our backyard. You don't have to go very far to find these spots, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. In Farmington, I've talked to some of our Parks and Rec before, and, Farmington's noted for having the amount of parks, and just walking around, and you have Farmington Lake, and just being outside. I'm an outside person anyway, and we live up, and I have this beautiful view of the La Plata Mountains out my back deck in my office right now. So, it just makes you want to go hiking. And it's all over San Juan County.
Right.
I mean, literally just go outside and walk. Drive 5 minutes and you can go to a hiking trail somewhere. So
very true.
The 0 or the 5210 is for more H2O. You encourage, sports drinks and juices and everything else like that. But if you look at the sugar content, it's scary, and it's not okay. In moderation, a glass of juice, a Gatorade now and again, get those. But if you really look at the sugar content of some of the drinks that our kids are getting and that we're taking in ourselves, it's a lot of sugar. And if you were to measure that out into a cup and then the amount of liquid versus it's a lot of sugar. So more water.
Not good.
Water. And so this challenge is going out, and we have great medals. We had an artist in Santa Fe design these beautiful medals, and they're actual medals that we'll give out to people that can complete the challenge. And I will be having live videos on the Healthy Kids, Healthy Community San Juan County Facebook page to encourage people throughout the summer to participate in the challenge. And I will be working with all 4 food service operators throughout San Juan County to get those pamphlets out. Maybe not all at one time, because it's a lot, but throughout the summer. And it's an ongoing, and I would love to encourage if we can get a community group together. I know in one of our communities down south, they challenged the volunteer fire department to do it.
Oh,
So
good idea.
it's, yeah, and it really just promotes healthy eating and physical activity, which of course that's what we all need a little bit in our life. And right now, with us being at home, I know I'm a boredom eater.
Right.
So I've taken on some home projects that have almost taken me down, to keep from just sitting in front of the refrigerator and trying to make healthy choices. So
Understood. Well, and we hear a lot about that COVID-19, and hopefully folks are able to keep those pounds off by doing some of these things that you recommend.
Right. Well, I'm going to put up a video series that I did. I decided to take on the project of building a 16-foot hoop house and a 12-foot by 2-foot by 6-foot raised bed, by myself.
Nice.
I don't know why I did that.
But you did. But you did.
Yes, and it's almost done. I actually have plants in the ground in it. But that was a really good project, and you can have a wonderful garden. We live on top of boulders. Our soil is awful. And so we've always had smaller raised beds, but just wanting to encourage people to, and I think throughout San Juan County, if you go to the nurseries and the different places, I think a lot of people are doing home gardening, because you can't find seeds. Plants are very difficult to find right now. So that is really encouraging to me that so many people have decided to, hey, let's try to grow our own. And I'm hoping that continues, because, fresh produce, fresh vegetables, fresh fruit for our families and our kids is one of the most important things.
Well, and I know that we hear that from both of you, a lot these days, and I know you tell us every time you're on the program about the difference in taste and texture between buying fruit or vegetable at a grower's market as opposed to maybe the grocery store, and nothing against our grocery stores, but again, a lot of these things are usually a lot fresher. They've not spent weeks or days in a truck being transported across the country, and so I know both of you recommend tasting the difference from buying some fresher fruits and vegetables at a grower's market than maybe at the grocery store when things come into season, and that's what we're talking about this morning, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it does break my heart a little bit. We had a lot of things planned for this summer with the mobile growers market set up at the Farmington Growers Market to do some fresh fruits and vegetable tastings and some short cooking lessons. And I'm hoping as the season progresses and maybe the pandemic goes down a little bit, that we'll still be able to do that. But we will be, a lot of our plan, everything is going to social media right now. And so we're really hoping to put on some cooking lessons and nutrition lessons on our Facebook page. And I know that my partners throughout New Mexico, the Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities coordinators in all the different counties have been starting to do cooking lessons. And we have Wonderful Cooking with Kids out of Santa Fe that have been posting videos that we've been sharing. And if people can just connect and they can learn how to cook those fresh fruits and vegetables to keep that flavor, and also to maybe have kids try it for the first time. It takes a couple times. They're going to say they don't like it the first time, but it takes a couple times for them to taste it, for them to really, really like the flavor. And, my family is addicted to zoodles. I mean, everyone, we would rather have, zucchini noodles over absolutely anything. So, and it took a couple times to get them all on board.
Okay.
But we will be sharing recipes and cooking lessons and everything. So, right now it's just all social media and our Facebook pages. And I know Bonnie does amazing thing with her million Facebook pages there. Then we have the Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities. The San Juan County Partnership has a great website and their Facebook page. So everyone just go and, look at those and get some ideas. And if anybody has any questions or nutrition information questions, they can always private message me or email me, because if I don't know the answer, I know someone that does.
That's true. I think that's true for both of you, actually. So that's good to point out. And again, I think these local Facebook pages are great sources of, again, local information, which is what we're all about here at KSJE, and finding out about what's in season, what's going to be maybe featured at the market that week, and those types of things are ways to keep tabs on what's going on. And then those recipes about how to use all that zucchini, maybe that you've grown yourself, and you didn't necessarily have to buy it at the growers market, but you've got a good supply of it in your garden this year. So all those things are good to share. And so before we run out of time this morning, can we repeat the dates for the growers market again that is planning to reopen again for folks who are just joining us with all the important social distancing and other protections to make it a safe experience, but the growers market is deemed essential and will be open yet again. Same location, of course, it's outdoors at the
open air market,
Farmington Museum. And go ahead.
The Farmington Museum in the front parking lot. The Farmington Growers Market will begin June 13th from 8 a.m. to noon. And then on July 7th, we will start our second day market on Tuesdays from 4 to 6 p.m. also in the Farmington Museum parking lot. Do remember to bring cash, but you can use your debit card if you choose to. Practice social distancing. Know that we will have hand washing stations available. Remember, no eating, no handshakes, no hugs. We really want to limit the amount of time people are in the market. And, I can't wait for the market to start because it's one of my favorite places to be and to see all of the incredible people in our community. But we do ask people to limit the amount of time that they're at the market. So definitely make a list before you come, kind of know what you're looking for. You can ask us questions through the Facebook page. About what might be there. Be sure to reach out to your favorite vendors so you kind of know what they may have and sign up for the customer newsletter on the Farmington Growers Market website, farmingtongrowersmarket.com, or through the Facebook page so that you can get the notifications about what might be at the market that week. The rest of the markets across the county will start between July and August, and we'll definitely be back with more updates to share that with people, and definitely be patient and just grow with us and learn with us and come out for really the first opportunity for us to be together as a community safely in San Juan County, and absolutely just support your local farmers. That money stays right here in our community, and it's more important right now than it ever has been before to support our local farmers. So if you can come out on Saturday, June 13th, we would love to see you, and then continue to support the market throughout the growing season.
Definitely, and in the other communities as well as they start up, as you mentioned, and so it's a wonderful thing. And you mentioned too, Bonnie Hopkins, that there's going to be limited entrances and exits to the growers market proper, and so that's part of the reason you have to limit the amount of people that can be inside shopping at any given time, and so that's part of the new normal, I guess. I hate to say that term, but that's part of what we're going to be seeing this summer.
Yeah, and we're still trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. I mean, if you are a frequent vendor or frequent market attendee, you know that we really hit peak season in August and September, and so those are the times we're really worried about the market being extremely crowded. In June and July, people definitely stagger in a little bit more, but at the same time, I don't know what to expect. We may have a huge influx of people, and we'll absolutely find a way to do that. It is different than the grocery store because it is open air,
right?
And we can spread out a little bit wider. So we're still figuring out those things. We'll have a lot of great signage postings so that as you come into the market, you know exactly what the expectations are. And again, we're building that army of volunteers to help us at the market. So if you are interested in helping us organize the market and run the market smoothly and be as adaptable as possible to meet the needs of the population that's shopping at the market, you can always shoot me an email, Bonnie Hopkins or bhopkins@nmsu.edu. You can also message me through pretty much any of the local food Facebook pages or on the San Juan County Extension website or the Farmington Growers Market website.
So many ways to get in touch with you. So many. Yes. Wonderful. Well, terrific. Well, thank you very much. And Patience Williams, yet again, a reminder of how we can sign up for the program you mentioned earlier about kind of reminding us to be healthier and watch our screen time and drink more water and all those really good things, right?
Right. You know, we will be having it on my Facebook page, which is the Healthy Kids, Healthy Communities, San Juan County. And I will also be sending out the trackers and the information sheet with the food service operators for the summer meal program. So I will be working with all 4 of the food service operators in Bloomfield, Aztec, CCSD, and Farmington. And we'll get those out. And if anybody is just interested, it'll be on the Facebook page. Probably we're going to launch in about a week.
Okay.
And just go on there. and I'll have a printable version of the tracker, or like I said, I'll be sending trackers home with the kiddos for the summer meal program.
Okay. Well, you've got your work cut out for you, it sounds like to me. And for
I'll
your printer.
finish the garden.
Right. That too.
Yeah.
Well,
And
wonderful.
5 back.
Well, thank you both for joining me this morning. It's great to see you both, Patience Williams and Bonnie Hopkins from the San Juan County Extension Service. My guests here talking about nutrition and the growers markets, which are setting to start in just a couple of weeks, as it turns out. So thank you very much, both of you. I'm Scott Micklin. I'll be back with more in just a moment, everyone. The time right now is coming up on 8:40 a.m.
Mental health in